Use this as a driver for success. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the FLC Hangout. We are live. I'm super excited to be here. This episode is going to be so powerful. So stay tuned, get your notepads out. It's going to completely change the way you look at motivation and how to actually get success and what you want in business. So hit the intro.
In FLC, closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC.
Hello, everybody. Again, like we said, we are live today and super excited to be back here with another powerful episode of the FLC Hangout. And again, we are not only am I joined by my wonderful co-host, Misty, but we are joined by the one and only Miss Shabaria. Thank you so much.
Hello. Super excited to be here.
Yeah, me too. Like we said, this episode is going to be all about how to actually get success and how to use your drive, your motivation, ideally to achieve that. So I'm super excited to get into it. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, comment along, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. Hello to everyone watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok. We are live everywhere. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Misty, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, Josie. Welcome, Shabaria, again. I'm so excited. We love having you with us. Guys, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and share on this video. Help us reach as many people as possible because here at FLC, we feel like we truly, honestly believe everybody deserves to be free. And here's where you find that and get that started. So today's topic is absolutely a tremendously big one. It's very important. And so I have a question for you, Shabaria. I know that when people find motivation, they're motivated.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they can find it hard to hold on to that motivation.
Yeah.
So I not only want to know how you do it and how other people can do that, but I also want to know how can they find out whether the motivation is coming from inside of who they are for them or if they're doing this for somebody else?
Yeah, love that one. First, a big hoo-ha-hoo. So excited to be here with you guys. And hello, everybody who is watching this for the first time. If you're watching this for the first time, make sure to hit that like, subscribe, bell, and whatever else you can see around this video, wherever you're watching it, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. So make sure to do it because Missy and Josie are absolutely incredible in changing people's lives. And this is indeed the place where your freedom lifestyle begins. And to answer your question, it's actually a really good point that you're mentioning because there's so many people that feel motivated for a little while and then they're like, yeah, let's go, I'm going to do stuff. But then that motivation wears down. And whenever you don't have that motivation, what do? Because you can't only rely on motivation because it's just not there all the time. So what is it that then moves you forward? And one of the reasons why I was so excited about this topic, even last week when we went live, we were talking and hinting towards it. There was this very powerful study done by Brennan Burchard and his team where they were looking at high performers. And When I say high performance, it's basically people that keep getting success after success after success. So they start one business, it's successful, and then they start the next business, and this is successful. Or they do one sport, like Michael Jordan was one of the best basketball players, and then they go into another sport and do another thing. So people that keep getting success after success, how do they do it? And the interesting thing is, when they were studying all these successful high performers, that when they measured why did they do it, most of them, so a big vast majority, said that they do it because of the people that they care about. And I can't remember the exact numbers. You have to go and look at his study. He presents it also in some detail in the what's it called again? High performers, or top, what is it again? High performing habits, high performer habits, or something like that. It's one of his books, and it was something around 70% of people, they feel that strong drive to get success because of other people, and it was only a smaller percentage of around 30 or less of people that wanted to do it because of themselves. So for anybody watching this, the first question that we would like to present to you guys as well is that, why do you want to get success? And maybe we have a lot of people. I cannot see all of the people yet. Comment below. Do let us know where you are tuning in from, because I see quite a lot of you on here with us. Let us know, like, what is your why? Because one of the exercises that we always do with our students, or our participants of Project 1 Million, is that we ask, like, where would you like to see yourself in the next 5 years? And what do you see in that future? Like, what are you doing? What are you seeing, feeling, hearing, like all the senses, but also who's there with you and how does that make you feel? And so for me, coming back to Misty's question, it really also is like an external motivator. So for me, it's always been my family and wanting to help people. With regards to family, my family is the absolute best family in the world, and they've always been there for me in all different ways. So I always wanted to give back to my family. That's number one. And number two, my family has always set an example to help other people. And so helping people, making a difference for people that are stuck, or that are in certain circumstances where they don't have the right data or the right knowledge or anything of the sort, I always feel really, really motivated to, or motivated, driven better, to go and help others. And even when I cannot find the motivation, I'm waking up, I'm tired, I'm not feeling well, my back is hurting and stuff like that, it is me thinking of those other people that really gives me that drive to move forward. So I think that part, and when I then was listening, I listened to the audiobook of Brendan Burchard, I was like, oh, that's interesting. So there are so many people that are actually being driven, again, not just by what is important for themselves, even though that definitely matters, but the majority of high performers are driven by external motivators, which is people that they love, people that they care about, people that they want to go and help. And I think that's really interesting. And so before I pass it back to you, girls, I want everyone who's watching, let us know in the comments, what is it for you? Like, what do you feel as a drive for? Who would you like to share your success with? And for those of you that are parents and are watching this, for parents, it's very often very similar too. They want to do it for their kids. Or for kids, sometimes they want to do it for their parents. So there's like really interesting things, but that is definitely going to help a lot. So my question back to the two of you is like, what is it for you? Like, what's your driver, and how does this help you to keep going and showing up all the time for all of the students that you're managing and people that you're helping and all these things?
Miss G, do you want to go for it?
Sure. I think for me, it's a little bit of both. It's a little bit for myself and for others. I'm a caregiver by nature. I love taking care of people and helping people, and trying to find new ways to do that where I can feel fulfilled and feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose is always, I don't want to say a challenge, but an adventure, and something that I always look forward to. So for me, it is not only it's twofold. It's basically making sure that I want to be able to take care of my mother and father are gone, so I want to be able to take care of my sister and my brother because they are older than I am. So
Mm-hmm.
I will take care of them, plus set my kids up for the generational stuff,
Yeah.
but also for everybody in FLC, Chabaria, Josie, not only the core family, but the external, everybody else at FLC.
Yeah.
And therefore, in turn, it motivates me because I'm being fulfilled and
Yeah.
I'm being able to do what I'm passionate about and what I love doing. So I
Mhm.
have the motivation from both places, from both
Yeah.
areas.
Mhm.
And that's what really drives me to keep going.
Yeah.
Besides, if I don't, Chabaria might show up at my door and kick my hind, which maybe I should just so she'll come. But um,
Well, Josie and I are coming in March to the
yes,
US. So
yes,
we'll be coming and we'll be doing some, like, how do we get professional
Make a
bucket.
pit stop.
there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Just a couple states over, but
Yeah. We'll
Close
walk.
enough.
No worries.
yeah,
We'll walk. Yeah.
what about you, Josie?
Yeah, for me, it's really the same. Like you guys really hit the nail on the head. I really, when it gets tough to, yeah, exactly, boink. When it gets tough to show up for myself, and we all have those days. Some
Yeah.
days are harder than others to get out of bed, show up, actually do what you need to do. When
Yeah.
it gets tough to actually do that for myself, I remember everyone else I'm doing it for. Like when I can't do it for me, I do it for Chabaria, who's built all of this for us, and for the team who also, like, it's a machine, right? We're all part of a machine. So if I stop doing my thing, then Misty can't do her thing, and Chabaria can't do her thing, and the marketing team can't do their thing. So yeah, when you can't do it for you, think about everyone else you're doing it for. Also, like my parents, I'm doing it for them, who my mum helped me get started in all of this in the first place anyway. So like it's all of that. Yeah. So yeah, I really like what you said about that. And I'm really excited for this topic too, because when we were speaking about it before, we kind of hinted that we were going to do this week.
Mhm.
We were talking a little bit about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, and if it comes from inside or outside. And I mentioned that I really studied this in sports science when I did sports science at A level in university. And like you said, a lot of the time it's things from outside that motivate you, because the intrinsic motivation, it does wear out, because like we said, you can't always count on motivation. There needs to be discipline there, and that's when it gets a little bit tough. But you can build that up. And I actually have something here that I wanted to share, like the definitions of intrinsic and extrinsic. I think it's really nice for people to know what these words actually mean. So intrinsic motivation, according to Google, is the drive to do something because it's interesting, enjoyable, rather than because of external rewards or pressures. It's driven by internal factors like personal satisfaction, curiosity, or the pleasure of mastering a skill. That's intrinsic, which is great. You also need that. You need the want and the desire to actually learn and do what you're doing. But like we said, that can fizzle off a little bit. Extrinsic motivation is defined by Google as motivation to participate in an activity based on meeting an external goal. Garnering praise, approval, winning a competition, or receiving an award or payment. So this is what Google says, which I think is quite interesting because it doesn't really touch on what we're talking about here with actually, for us, it's a lot of family and community based. And it seems on Google that it's very materialistic based, which kind of, I don't know how that sits with me, because I feel like, yes, it can be materialistic, money, rewards, medals, praise from other people. But I think there's another layer to that of actually having a purpose and wanting to do it for the people around you. So that's the two different things of motivation, basically. So when you can't rely on yourself really, or do it for yourself, do it for other people. So I would actually say that make a list. Who are you doing it for? What's your
definitely.
and who are you doing it for?
Yeah. Can I say something to that effect? Because I very much agree and feel the same way as you do with regards to the external part. That it's not just like the external rewards that you're getting, but more the other people that you care about so much.
Yeah.
And I think all of us have touched upon it in the sense that motivation is awesome and it's really good to have, but it's not the thing that's going to last you for a very, very long time, because motivation comes and goes, and it kind of can depend sometimes on one's mood or certain circumstances that, can drive it even more. But the constant that is there and that helps you to do the things even when you don't feel as motivated is, like what you said, discipline. But I also know, and I think Sep touched upon it. And we always quote Sep, isn't it awesome? But he mentioned before that there are certain people, and I think it depends on like what is your style and your character, that don't really like the word discipline, because sometimes people make it seem like a more strong, maybe even masculine, or a certain emotion that feels like as if it's a must. So then he quoted another way of saying the same thing, which is devotion. That you're just so devoted to what you're doing, and whether that's the people that you're doing it for, or why it's important to you, like external, external. But then the other way that I like to think about it too is that there are definitely times, and let me know in the comments if you have had a time like that yourself, that you don't feel bothered to do it. Like days that you're waking up and you should be checking in with people, you should maybe be visible, like when it comes to business, that you should be picking up that phone and give someone that call, but that you just don't feel like doing it, or you don't feel good enough. Or recently, I'm going to share this also with a lot of honesty, is that sometimes you just go through certain challenges. Now I've been feeling a bit under the weather. Now if you're under the weather because of the season or whatnot, then you can also sometimes feel like, oh, I can't be bothered to do this thing. And I think what really is it for me in those moments is to think like, you also have that opportunity, I think, to be that beacon of light to other people.
Mm,
And what I always feel is so extremely motivating. And this, I especially want to mention for those of you that are running your own businesses and you're looking to close deals. And when you are about to go on that sales call and you feel a little bit of challenge and a little bit of resistance and stuff like that, maybe you've had a ton of sales calls already. And just because you're still new to it and you're not really getting the hang of sales yet, that you feel like, oh my goodness, this is going to happen again. I'm going to get another no. What really helps me is to know that this call particularly is going to make a difference to that individual. And that feels so good. Knowing that whether this person will pay me or not, at least I'm changing their life. And when you then go into that call with that point of view, like everything else, like I always feel it like this whole, how do you call it? Like weight on your shoulders. Yeah, it just falls off. And it's just like, I'm just here to serve. I'm just here to listen to what's going on. How is everything going for you? Like, how can I help you? Where do you want to be? And to truly provide that help. And the beauty of that all is that if you then shift your focus towards purely helping, the call gets a lot easier. The feeling about it gets easier because you're less stressed. There's less stress for the other person. And typically, the results become easier as well because they can truly get to see who you are as a person and how much you care. And again, we always say this at events, the person or the company that cares the most is the company that will win. And so, what comes at the back of it is that the statistics also don't lie. So if you just have, let's say, a week full of sales calls lined up and you've had so many sales calls that didn't really work out that much, then say, hey, I have an opportunity in this entire week to help so many people. I'm just going to jump on it. I'm going to have fun. I'm going to really be there for those people. And then because the statistics don't lie and you show up in that way, all of these points will be collected. So you're collecting points, 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 so that
mm,
even if everybody says no, it actually isn't, because something is going to come from that. And that notion is so powerful because we've seen it so many times, right? That we were just literally in the field, hustling, grinding, and then sometimes it just takes so long before something happens. And then it's just like statistics don't lie. You come from a good point of view. You want to help someone truly. The person gets to feel that. And then all of a sudden, the success comes from it. So
mm,
I really think it's a magical thing. And right now, I've had so many of examples throughout the years where things just get a bit tough. I feel tired, drained, or sometimes just totally not motivated. If I just think about it that way, I can help that person, or my showing up helps my family meaning family, and FLC core family, FLC family, like the whole shebang of our movement. when I show up, it always helps others. It helps you girls. It helps the rest of the team. It helps everyone in our community to see, hey, Chibara is showing up. And therefore, it paves the way for others to show up too. So even if I don't get that close that day, the way that I show up then ripples through to the success of everybody else.
Mm.
That never goes unseen. That's the beauty of it. And so it's just like, okay, to just think, what can I mean to someone else today? And yeah, it's just it does it magic. Hannah is saying aha, hoo ha hoo for the aha moment. Let us know if anybody else has gotten aha. I see Maisha is joining us as well on Instagram. Hello Maisha, so nice to have you with us. So
Hello.
that's a really, really big thing. But
Yeah.
back to you girls.
Yeah.
I think it's important to point out here too that not only is you showing up um, helping to help somebody else, can that be your motivation, but you showing up gives them inspiration to show up for somebody else who needs their help.
Yes.
So it is the ripple effect. I like bringing up the ripple effect because when we think about some of us, like some of us,
I think that's all of us.
some of us sit here and think, well, if it's just for me, what's the point? Why
Mm,
why should I do that?
yeah,
Right? But when we think of we're showing up not just for ourselves, but for other people, and
mm,
those the people that they are going to show up for, and
yeah,
giving that inspiration and motivation to them to
mm,
help show up for other people, that can be really huge and so empowering. And
yeah,
I think it's really important to keep that in mind because it's you're not just showing up for you. You're doing it for everybody else
yeah.
who you may affect in the long run they affect. So
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And if I can just share one more thing about it as well, like we were just speaking about it,
no,
and
you can
Maisha saying,
nothing
"Great
else.
point, ladies. Thank you, thank you so much, Maisha. Let us know what is your point of view of this, or if you have any questions. And the same goes for Hannah and Shushmita and Christina and anybody else who's watching. We don't know who's watching. um,
Yes, and if
I
anybody
just
on TikTok has anything to add as well, please comment. Let us know. We
yes,
want to hear from you as well.
absolutely, and um, and the same holds for Josie's audience. but
Everybody.
one thing that I just thought was so awesome is today I had a conversation with one of our newest students, and it was crazy what she said. So we just had an event. For those of you who are there, you know it. Those of you who aren't there, where have you been? But it was so cool. And then today I had this conversation with a brand new student. She just got started with us today. And she said that already from everything that she's learned in the event, she had a big, massive breakthrough and win, and she actually found herself because she's running a business right now and she's got a number of different things going for her, but she was speaking to another person, a lovely other lady, and then she said something about, hey, you can join this session and this session is going to help you with xyz, and then the person said no, and then she was like, and you know what it did for me, because of the event right now I felt so calm and good that I actually carried on the conversation beyond that no. And then she kept talking to the person, and then the person was saying like why she was saying no, and then she gave a few more things, and then the person said, well, actually, what time is it? So the interest was there, and then she said, okay, it's in this time, does that work for you? And then the person said, oh no, sorry, it doesn't work because I have to go and drive with the kids and do something. And then she was like, okay. And then she said, well, maybe then, just from the kindness of her heart, well, maybe then it's not the right time for you because yeah, these are unfortunately the only times. And then the person came back and said like, well, does it happen next week? And then she said like, no, unfortunately it's only this week that is happening. And then the person said, oh, okay, well, you know what, I'll listen to it in the car. So she said like it's so beautiful and interesting to see how she was directly able to implement those things.
Mm.
And I think that's directly like what Misty said, is that when you do something and we're showing up in that event, making a difference to everybody, and then those things stick, like just what Josie was just saying with another student that is coming on board, that her entire life is changed just by being there on the event. It's like, how big is that? So really, like, fully agree with what Misty just said, that being there is rippling through to other people being there, and those other people now influencing other people again. And like you can go wrong with that. And oh, I just want to show this real quick. Hannah is saying, yes, P1M is life changing. Thank you so much. Hoo ha hoo. So beautiful. Yeah, but I just wanted to quickly add that because I really agree with what you just said there, Misty.
I agree with both of you. I think what's important for people to realize too is in this space, if you're in this space and you're playing this game with us, the game of business, success, and entrepreneurship, you're playing such a bigger game than I think you realize, or
Yeah.
most people realize. It's not just the game of, I'm going to start a business, I'm going to close
Game
deal.
of Thrones. Sorry.
Yeah, literally. I'm going to close business. What, like you're playing a game of life. You're affecting actual people's lives,
Yeah.
and I know that I don't say that to put pressure on people, but more to motivate you that you are playing such a big game. And I think that's really important to realize. And what's also important to realize, and what I learned through playing this game, what I want to tell people now is that everything you go through is part of it. And this is what Shabaria always tells our team and tells our students. It's all part of it. The no that you got on that call, the person hanging up on you or telling you to go away, but maybe not that quite nicely. It's all part of it. Or the person that didn't show up, the person that kind of decided it wasn't for them, went away. It's all part of it, and it's all going to happen. And the sooner you become okay with that happening, the sooner and the easier it's going to be to overcome that and keep going when it does happen. Because I've had times where I've had my best month ever inside of FLC in terms of closing. But within that best month ever, I had a week of like the worst week ever, really, because it was just no after no after no. But by going through that and by realizing, okay, it's all part of it. I know every no is closer to a yes, and I'm being tested right now. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Then the next week was like boom, 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 close, close, close. Yes, yes, yes. Like people saying thank you. So, and it feels so good when it feels, I think, even better to get that success and get all those people closing and saying yes and thanking you for what you do after you've had kind of a challenge to overcome, because you're like, hey, like I can do this, I'm in the game now, like boom, 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 bring anything on, I'm indestructible. So I think that's really important to realize too. I'll be curious on what you guys think about that as well. Like, no, come to terms now that not everything's going to go your way and things are going to feel hard, but that's okay. It's all part of it, you know?
And I think actually it's quite interesting. I don't know if you guys experience it the same way, but after you've had so many cycles of ups and downs, and you basically already know that those ups are gonna come whilst you're in the down, it actually gets you to enjoy the down even more because you're really having this reflection on yourself and your character and how you show up in an adversity. And I think that's sometimes, it may even sound masochistic, right? But I don't mean it in that way. But it feels like you're going through the struggle and you're seeing yourself persevering. And you're like, oh man, look at this. Like this challenge normally a few years back would have crushed me and I would have been so sad and I wouldn't have been able to show up in this way. And then all of a sudden, you're like, look at me. And you have faith as well. That has been one of the biggest one. And I had this realization again somewhere last year where there was like another cycle of ups and downs. And I was just like, wait a second, I've seen this before. I felt exactly the same way. And I know it's going to be okay. And I want everyone who's watching it, comment it below and say everything is going to be okay. Because having that notion, like you can see it, you can understand it, but you can also have lived through it. And then you really have that deep sense of like, okay, cool, I'm being tested. What is it this time? What do I have to learn now? Which monster do I have to beat now? And for me also, one of the things that I had in my mind just the other day, and this goes back to one of the most challenging times in my life, where I want to refer back to an anime. Do you guys watch anime? Yes, right? I think
I don't, but
you don't.
I hear about it from you guys all the time.
Oh my goodness, Josie, we need to do something. We need to educate her properly. You do watch anime?
Movie night.
Which one did you say? Oh, movie night. Yeah. We should.
Family movie night. Yeah.
We've only done one so far. That's so crazy. But there's one that I like very much. It's called Berserk. It's kind of older. But it's a really beautiful story, and it was one of the, like, how do you say, more hardcore animes, such that they even took it away from Japanese television. That's how hardcore it was. But anyways, in there's this main character. His name is Gatsu, and he basically has this thing in him that he cannot give up. And it's not like a thing, like a weird thing, but it's just like in his character, he can give up. And at a certain moment in time, he loses his parents, and he got adopted by his uncle. And then, because he's very young and his uncle is a general in the army, he has to also learn how to fight in the army. So he learns how to fight with swords and stuff like that. And at a certain point, everything goes wrong. His uncle dies, people are chasing him, and then he finds himself in a scenario where there's wolves running after him, and he's like, okay, this is it, this is probably the end, and I'm now going to kind of meet my maker, sort of thing. And then he just can't get himself to give up. So this wolf jumps at him, and out of a reflex, he grabs his sword, and sorry for the wolf, he fights against the wolf, and he wins as a little kid. So he's supposed to be about 11 or 12 or something at that stage. Now, I know this sounds very brutal for those of you that are not used to anime and fighting and that sort of stuff. But what I really loved about that scene is that he talks about how there's just something that cannot get him to give up. And when I was going through the toughest time in my life, and let's just say not my life, but my business life, that's kind of the way how I felt too. I was so drained. I was so tired. I was unable to pay for the bills, unable to do this. I had to ask for help left, right, and center. And I was just like, no, at a certain point, I felt like, man, this is too much. But then I was like, no, I can't stop. I just have to go. I just found myself again sending that message, jumping on that call, doing this thing, and so much so that it was like, ah. But then it went up again, and then he beats the wolf, and I get the sale, and it's just like, miraculous. And I think that's what the way how I look at it now. And again, life will keep throwing punches at you. You will keep getting challenges, but those challenges, I no longer see them really as challenges, but they're literally just like that end level of the end of the level. When you're playing a computer game and you have to fight the end boss. That's what it is. And if more people were to realize that and to see that, hey, if you can have that level of drive, and I'm just going to show up, and I'm just not going to give up. I can't. I just keep doing the right things. I keep doing the right steps. I keep doing the little bits of help here and there, coming from a good perspective, caring about all those people that I can care about, and then just keep showing up. It just can't go wrong. And I think what is also important in that is to give yourself the little bit of alleviation that it isn't supposed to be an overnight thing. And I want to quote Steve Jobs, and I don't know the quote exactly by heart, but it was something to the lines of this. Most people feel that 2 years is too long to get your business up and running and successful, but feel it's absolutely okay to stay broke in a job for 40 years. And I think that's quite telling, is that we feel like that is like 2 years to set up my business, which will last for you for a lifetime. Oh my goodness, way too long. Now, obviously, in our case, we have our students being able to hit the ground running much faster than 2 years. But even if it was to take 2 years, so what? If it takes 2 years to set things up, that will give you a lifetime of success. That's worth it. Or you go back into your comfort zone, and then you spend all of eternity there. And I think that's a very important thing to know too. So yeah, back to you.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I can really resonate with what you're saying, because I have that all the time.
Yeah.
Like, why am I doing this? It's so, nothing's happening. But it's been almost 4 years now that I've been with FLC.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I couldn't, even the days I want to give up, I think of you, Chibaria, and I'm like, Chibaria's out there kicking her hiney every single day. She stays up very late, hardly sleeps at all. I can't let her down. I can't quit. I can't do this. I have to keep going. She needs my help. I got to be there. And then I think about everybody else in FLC as well. And it's like, I can't, even though I've thought about it all the time. It's like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? But I know that what I'm doing is the right thing.
Yeah.
I know that it's going to pay off.
Mm-hmm.
I know that even if I get on the phone and those people are telling me no,
Yeah,
they're not telling me no. They're telling no to what they don't understand and what they don't know.
yeah,
So just because they tell you no right now does not mean no forever.
Yeah.
They will come back.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is planting that seed. And then those people could be, even though your hardest person to even get on a call,
Mm-hmm.
your biggest payoff.
Yeah.
So, not just as far as closing the biggest deal, but as far as changing their life. And all
Mm-hmm.
you had to do was take that little step and call them and keep doing it.
Yeah.
And I really resonate with what you're saying, because it's not always easy to get up and keep going. It's just not.
Yeah.
And I know I've said this several times, and I gotta point it out. This right here,
Mm-hmm.
that's
Yeah.
my goals. Those are
Mm-hmm.
my goals. So it's the first thing I look at when I come in. It's the first thing
Mm-hmm.
I look at when I leave, because it's
Yeah.
right above my light switch, and I have those all over my house.
Yeah.
So
It's
to
so
keep
important.
motivated, it's everywhere. I've got it all over my house, plus all over my cell phone, my social media, everything that I want out of life,
Mm-hmm.
and all my reasons why I'm doing everything. I surround myself with that, so
Mm-hmm.
I keep myself motivated
Yeah. Yeah.
and keep myself going.
Yeah. And can I just say one more thing as well? Because I resonate with it too, what you were saying. A lot of the time when you think things are not moving forward, just dare yourself to look at yourself a few years back. You'll see how much has changed. If you just
It's
take 1 second, it's just so
Yeah, it's
good,
good you
right?
brought that up, because I was going to mention that too.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know how much of a difference I was making or how much I was doing
Mm-hmm.
until you keep pointing it out to me.
Yeah.
And then I started recently, it's just been recently, and I've been with FLC almost 4 years.
Yeah.
So just recently, I'm like becoming more aware of what I've done and what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing. And the fact that how much I've changed and how much change is coming, I can see it coming.
Yeah.
So it's like, kind of mind blowing that, when you finally become aware of that and can see
Mm-hmm.
it,
Yeah.
it's like, wow,
Yeah.
that's really powerful.
Yeah, so also for the audience, anybody who's watching either live or watching the replay, do check that for yourself, because we tend, especially if you're motivated and goal orientated, you kept looking at the goal that you want to achieve in the future, and you're so focused on it, and days pass by that we don't always take enough time to look back and see like, whoa, look where I come from, and look how much I've changed and how many things I've done, or even the way how I stand in life and the way how I deal with things, or the way how I communicate is so different. Like, even coming back to the Hangout, if anyone was to go all the way back to the first episode of the Hangout, man, it was so different. Like, these
Ah,
ladies are phenomenal. It's really, really crazy. And like that's your how you say it, your fruit of your labor, and that's the thing that has made such a difference to so many people. How many people have messaged you guys and say, hey, this hangout has helped me so much, thank you for making it, I look forward to the episodes and stuff like that. It's huge, and we don't have the biggest audience in the world, but it's the people that we are able to touch that matters, and why we do what we do. And I think this is another thing as well, very, very important. I cannot for the life of me remember who said it, but it was but it was one other super, super big entrepreneur said something like this: if you know you're having something good, then it is going to be okay. Like, you know, you're doing all the right things. You can see, even though the scale might not be super big, but you can see the impact of what you're doing or the product that you're having on some of the people that you have been in contact with. Whether for the first time entrepreneurs, it's only family members or friends that you've helped or on a free basis, or whether it is of your first clients that you've helped, and you can see the amount of change that they're going through. If you know you've got something good here, then keep going, because it is gonna blow up at some point. But it's just a test of you to see, can you handle it? Can you handle the weight? Are you patient enough? Are you strong enough, and maybe even have enough integrity to know that if you're only doing it for a few folks at the time, that you're still showing up in that way, which we talk about all the time in our events. Like, some people think, oh, if there's not a thousand people showing up on the podcast, it's not worth it. Well, here we are speaking to only a few amazing people. You guys are worth it. Everything is worth it, even if there were zero people watching, which wouldn't be the first time that we're live and no one's watching. It doesn't matter. We're here because we have a message that matters, and we know that this message is good. And therefore, if you just keep doing the right thing over and over again, it is going to take off. But it's just a test for us and a test for anybody watching to know, are you ready for that? Are you, really in that space where you are preparing yourself and you show the game makers that you're ready for the next level. And
Mm-hmm.
once you have been tested as such, then it's like the doors open. Vroom, welcome to level 2. And then all of a sudden, like, oh man, I'm at level 2. And then you face all the monsters from level 2, which are going to be some big ass monsters. Sorry for swearing, but that's going to happen then as well. So I
Yeah.
just think it's a really interesting thing. It's really a mind game. It's really a, yeah, like you said, Josie, a game of life, right? It really is. And Maisha says quality over quantity. Absolutely. 100%. So agree with you. But yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Josie.
Yeah, agreed. I think as well, I want to touch on another point you guys made, but um, the thing is with anything you do, starting a business, making a cold call, having your first sales call, starting a podcast, whatever it is,
Mhm.
the first step is always going to feel the hardest. And once you're in it, things will flow, things will get better. Like Jabara said, if you go watch our very first Hangout, FLC Hangouts, oh my God. Maybe, yeah, go watch it at your own risk. But we, like the way we speak, and we're so nervous and we're so shy, and it's kind of cute. I probably can't watch it yet, but the point is we weren't perfect, and we knew we weren't perfect at the time, but we did it anyway.
Yeah.
And look, like now we're confident. We have all this. We have the people watching. We're live in a lot of different places. I don't know. And hello to everyone. I want to say hello to Thady, to Satya, to Yvonne. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My Facebook. But yeah, just do it. Make the first step. It's always hardest in the first step. But another point you guys made in Shabaria, you said that a lot of the time it's like people will feel 2 years to be in business and to be hustling in your business is such a long time and not worth it. But then they're okay with being broke and having that 9 to 5 they don't want for 40 plus years. So why is that not a long time?
Hmm.
But this is a long time, which is so true, very true. And I think a lot of people need to realize that. And it's not you realize that through learning, obviously.
Yeah.
But what's important to also realize is we said this last week, this entrepreneurial space, this free spirited business space, isn't a very done path. Most people will settle for average, and most people won't even think about doing what they actually want to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, things will feel really hard that maybe aren't as hard as we're making it out to be in our head. Like Seb said, and like we said last week,
Hmm.
is it actually hard or is it just new?
Yeah.
It's new to you. It's new to a lot of people, really, because the challenges that most people face when they're going through what most people do in life
Hmm.
are challenges that most people face, like I just said. So people, you see around you that everyone is going through these challenges, so it doesn't feel as like, oof, ouch, like, oh my God, what am I doing? But
Yeah.
in this space, when you're going through all these wonderful learnings that we all go through in
Yeah.
this business space, sales, all of this,
Hmm.
it's a less done path, and it's more likely that people around you
Hmm.
aren't also on this path. So you're not seeing other people also go through it, which makes it feel so much heavier on you. So what I'm trying to say is actually a lot of the time we make it a lot more difficult and a
Mm.
lot more complicated in our heads than it really has to be. Exactly. Tara's doing this for anyone who doesn't, who can't see her.
Yeah.
It's exactly that. Like,
Yeah.
just take a second when you're facing these challenges. Take a second, breathe in, breathe out. You're okay. Are you alive? Yes. Is
Yeah.
this something that you can overcome by making that phone call, just reaching out to that person?
Yeah.
Probably yes. So is it as big as you're making it out to be? Probably not. Now, I'm not saying that not everything you go through is actually real and actually
Mm.
big. Yes,
Yeah.
go through real challenges and it can affect you, but really catch yourself and you're in that frame of thinking. Yeah, catch the thought, analyze it. Is it really as big and complicated and scary as I'm making it? No. Okay, throw it away, keep
Yeah.
going. So yeah, I think that was a really, really good point, because anyone here, if you're watching here or here on YouTube, welcome to the entrepreneurial space. Like, you are playing a game of life, and this is
Mhm.
such a beautiful game, and you are creating a life for yourself that you actually want, and that is going to come with challenges. But I think that is so beautiful that when
Mhm.
you look back and you're like, I did that.
Yeah,
I did that
yeah.
despite everything.
And also, what you were saying just now about, yes, we're playing this game in this entrepreneurial world, but we're actually transforming ourselves. So
Mm,
it's one of the fastest self development journeys.
yeah.
And you'll see the effects of it all across your life. You see it in the way how you're dealing with friends and family. You see it in the way how you're dealing with other situations.
Yeah.
You'll probably find yourself becoming a lot more resilient, a lot more well spoken, a lot more well, like more solution focused. Like it has an all round effect. And that's why I really, really recommend everyone who's on this journey to just look back and see yourself a few years back and to see, like, whoa, I've grown so much. And if that much growth can happen, or like for those of you that were on Project 1 Million, if you just look at the last week, where were you last week compared to where you are right now? If a week can do so much,
Mm,
imagine then what the continuation of this will do. And it will, and that's the nice thing of the success graph, it will start continuing to go exponentially. But that's the only part. And that's why I think the game of success, or the game of business, or even the game of life, is in essence relatively fair, because you only get to see the exponential growth part of the curve when you are persisting long enough and when you actually stay in the game. And so those people that self select out because they can't handle the weight, or they cannot believe in themselves enough, or if they feel like, oh, I'm just wasting my time, which is a very dangerous thing to say,
mhm,
then you're not going to experience that's exponential growth. And it's also because, yeah, that's not deserved at that moment. You have to deserve it. And how do you deserve it? By just keep going and surrounding yourself with people, because it can be hard on the mind, it can even be hard on the heart. But if you surround yourself with people, and this is actually our ps is it called PSO, public service announcement to all FLCers. If you're going through a time where you know that the challenge is real and the roller coaster ride is really like, reach out to us, reach out to your representative, because we know what that feels like. So we're going to be there for you, and we're going to, like, on the one hand support you, on the other hand kick your butt into action so that you keep going, because usually when you feel the chaos the most is when you're nearly there. And I think that's really cool and really scary at the same time, but it is a very good indication. So just one final quote that I want to mention is that one. I don't know by who it is, but it is that one of uncomfortability. So get comfortable at feeling uncomfortable. The more comfortable you get with the being uncomfortable, the sooner you're going to be able to navigate in that uncomfortable, aka new space.
mm.
And then you're going to just run through or up that curve. You're going to be like, and that's so much fun. So yeah.
Definitely. Definitely, definitely. Well, ladies, we are getting close to the end here. So I want to see if you guys have any advice or anything else you would like to say just as we before we go to wrap up here.
I have a question actually, and I really have to consult with my ladies. Do you guys think that it would be nice for us to give a gift to your audience?
Hmm.
Ooh.
I think so. I think they deserve it.
I
Okay, yeah.
quite nice, right? So I just want to say, anybody who's watching this, if you comment below the word gift, Misty or Josie are gonna reach out to you to give you that gift, and I'll tell you guys which gift we can give in a moment. But comment below, say the word gift, and then we just have to monitor all those gift words because we're live currently. So then afterwards, we can actually see like all the comments that come in later. But right now, we'll just monitor it. But we have a really powerful gift that we have put together. It's absolutely life changing, and it will directly help you with mastering this topic in the space of entrepreneurship. So yeah, I think it's going to be quite cool. So my tip is comment below the word gift, and Misty and Josie will gift you guys something that is going to change your lives. So that's me.
Oh,
Yes.
amazing.
That being whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, any platform you're watching this on, comment live or gift. Sorry, comment gift, and we will get you that gift.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay,
Um,
I already see a number of gifts coming in. So I see Yvonne from It's Happy Crew. She comments below gift on Instagram. So if you guys can make a mental note, and then we have Shanti and Hanai already commenting as well. Let's go. Let's
Perfect.
go.
And we have Satya. Satya, I see you. I will make sure that gets over to you. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Amazing.
Ooh.
I want to say, apart from comment below gift, because who doesn't want a gift? It's nearly Christmas. It's nearly
Yeah.
Christmas. We have something up our sleeve.
The
So,
most wonderful time of the year.
if anyone doesn't know, by the way, Shabaria, you can say one word around her and she'll have a song to tell you.
It really
That's
is.
what you say around Shabaria. But it's good. It's,
Wow.
oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
I only just now see this. Oh, that's really
Oh my
cool.
God, look at you.
Ooh, look at that.
Oh,
That's awesome. So we can see the gifts, the gifts coming in on
there you
real
go.
time.
Live. If you see your name there and you've said gift, expect a gift. You guys too. Anyone that's just joined, I see someone just joined, comment below gift if you want a gift. But my tip, other than that, is keep going. Keep going. And I know you've heard that before. And I know you're probably like, Josie, is that it? But the reason I'm saying that is it will only start to feel easier if you keep going. And I promise you, the more you overcome these challenges, whether they're just mental challenges or they're actual challenges, physical challenges, whatever it is, the more you overcome that and the more you build confidence in yourself to see, like, hey, I am capable and I have done this before. I've been here before and I've overcome it. The easier it will feel. I promise. Things that used to completely knock me off my game for like a week now knock me off my game for maybe a minute and then I'm back in it. I'm fine. So I promise you, if you keep going, Fede, I see you. If you keep going, it will get easier. So keep going.
Let's go.
Absolutely. So, Shivari, did you want to tell us about this gift before we wrap up, or is it a secret?
It is a secret, I think, but all I can say is that they better be watching their inboxes, and you will want to check it later today because this gift is really powerful. And this gift does come with a limitation, so it's not like something we can gift to everyone. So it's like first come, first serve type of thing. So anyone who commented gift or will be commenting gift, check your mailbox. If someone's going to comment gift later on with the replay on the YouTube, do send us a message in person as well, because we're going to be sending it to you, and on YouTube we're not able to send it to you. So you have to then either reach us out on Instagram, FLC Hangout on Instagram. If you send us a message, a DM with a gift, then you'll be able to get it there too. So it's at FLC Hangout. I'll just quickly add it onto the screen. So let me just put this over here. FLC Hangout. Hangout. There we go. So it is instagram.com/FLC Hangout. Is that correct? FLC Hangout? I think it is. FLC, and I need to make sure that I can type. Ta-da! Ta-da! So make sure you go there, and then drop us a message in there, and we'll send the gift over to you. But you have to check it quick because I do know there's a limitation on it. But more than that, my lips are sealed.
Natalie says, I'm watching your Hangout on YouTube. Can't answer questions, but thank you for amazing support and believe in our goals. I love gift to share for FLC something.
Oh, bless.
There.
Thank you so much, Natalie.
Watching.
Awesome. So, guys, be sure to go over to our Instagram, comment there, let us know that you want that gift. Like Shabaria says, there is a limitation, so you want to jump on that ASAP. Thank you guys for being here with us. Be sure to like, comment, and share this live and our episodes with everybody that you may know that needs this help or could you benefit from it. because we want to reach as many people as possible, not only to help them reach their freedom, which we believe wholeheartedly with all our passion, everybody deserves to be free, but also we want to help everybody, as many people as possible, to become the best version of themselves so we can help change the entire world, because it does really start with one person, right? What is that quote by Steve Jobs, Chabaria?
Yeah.
The one person who is crazy enough to think that they can change the world usually are the ones that do.
Yeah.
So we're starting here, and it all starts right here at the FLC and the FLC Hangout. So be sure to watch us. Keep learning, guys. We love you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for being, joining us and for commenting. If you have any questions or any ideas on what you guys want us to talk about, let us know in the comments. And we'll catch you guys next time on another episode of the FLC Hangout.
Yeah.
Bye.
In FLC, in FLC. Closing is better with appointment setters. You'd better believe we're not a team but a family. We work together in harmony. We are devoted, and that you can quote me in FLC.